We are broadcasting from Victoria High School in Gqeberha, where the MEC of Education was just giving a brief of some of the success the department has had in the past couple of months in terms of improving infrastructure in the Eastern Cape, and also just dabbing in on the issue of latrine toilets in the Eastern Cape, which has been a topical issue given the results of what happened a couple of weeks ago. But let me bring it into the conversation and just find out exactly where we are in the Eastern Cape in terms of education, amount of schools we are building, infrastructure we are developing, and overall the state of education in the Eastern Cape. MEC, let's just first talk about an issue that's been, I think, a thorny issue in terms of the Eastern Cape, the issue of the pit toilets, which you really spoke largely on earlier on in your brief, where you were saying it cannot only be left to the Department of Education to solve the issue, which I think is a general consensus nationally, that it must be also incorporation of various sectors such as human settlement and other sectors of government also come in to assist what you say is a crisis, but it can also be addressed by other sectors as well.
Yes, we are doing our part as a sector in terms of the sector plan. You would understand that we developed that sector plan 2019, if I'm not mistaken. The research indicated that we have got 1,500 plus schools out of the 6,000 schools in the country that didn't have proper ablution facilities. Through the ministry's intervention and the president of the country, we developed what you regard now as SAFE program, which started in 2019 to intervene on that 1,500. But unfortunately for us, 2019 and 2020 COVID period put a halt on the development of those initiatives, which then give us a bit of a backlog in terms of the targets that we had to meet, because remember, there was shutdown at some time during the COVID-19. Currently, we have been able to produce and secure not less than 1,000 of those schools out of the 1.5 that we were identified as having a backlog on. And some of them has been created and done through the infrastructure grant that the minister is giving handy to the province. But out of that also we have our own, which is 39 of them, the 39 schools that we have built via the provincial fiscus, so to speak. So we are covering up the lost ground in terms of the pit latrines in the province. But my serious concern is on the conceptualization of the eradication of the pit latrines, and also the approach of government in general on the matter. My attitude is that for us to be able to succeed on that mandate, you need the Department of Water and Sanitation, the Department of Human Settlements, the Department of Rural Development, the Department of Local Government to respond on the bulk infrastructure connectivity to rural villages. Because even if you can revamp the pit latrines in schools, where are you going to deposit the sewage that is going to come out of those schools toilets that you are changing from pit latrines? So in my view, there is more research, or there is more of the integrated approach that is needed to be done by government in general, because in the sector of education, you must also appreciate the fact that the schooling system we have in the country and also in the province in particular, 70% of the beneficiaries are coming from quintile 1 to 3, which then indicates that those are rural or township schools. Now, my argument is, if you don't have infrastructure connectivity, bulk infrastructure in rural schools, how are you going to eradicate pit latrines? So I'm saying it's a matter that probably there is a need of an intensive discussion generally as government on how best do we deal with this elephant in the room without a blame game, without exposing kids of the people into death traps?
MEC, when we speak about the township and rural schools, that's where you find a lot of infrastructural problems at these schools. A bulk of your talk this morning was about the issues of infrastructure that you are fixing, especially in these areas, in terms of schools that you are building that are going to be of top quality. Can you speak about the work that you're doing there in terms of infrastructure development, especially in schools in the township and the rural areas, which are a huge problem currently?
We have got an approach of responding. For example, we have introduced extensively a program on the inclusive education so as to deal with the issue of kids who are living with disabilities as part of an ongoing program of ensuring that bonke ngabetu, the kids belongs to the same society that we are. We have built the Ntsokota, for example, is currently under construction, and quite a massive one with a building of hostels that will accommodate not less than 700 kids within Lady Frey. We are also building a hostel at Tala, Sakisizwe, purely for special schools. So as to accommodate kids with disability. We have also handed over the Tembisa one in Namtata at an amount of 189 million so that we can deal with the issue of the disability of kids around Namtata, Port St. John's and other areas. We have also found a school in Queenstown so as to deal again with the disability around Joe Qabi and Chrisani West, autism, specializing on autism to be precise. So again, we have trained teachers that are going to graduate now in May, about 90 of them, if not 100. Which have specialized on autism. We are rolling out also other bursaries so that we stabilize on the inclusive education sector, but also lift it up the white paper 6. Because our strongest, weakest point in the system, in my view, has been a lack of appreciating the white paper 6 as promulgated in 1996. So there is a need of an integration in terms of how we develop further the schooling system in the province and also in the country in general.
That was MEC of Education, Mr. Gade, going out boldly saying that the aim is to make sure the Eastern Cape is in the top 3, and because we've recorded him, we'll make sure that we replay that again end of the year. And also just speaking about the various strides they've made in the Eastern Cape in terms of improving schools and infrastructure, also saying the issue of toilets cannot be left alone to the department, must be done by various sectors within local government and national government as well. For now, let's go back to you in studio.